A former children's minister is calling for child protection failures within the Church of England in Sussex to be included in the government public inquiry into child sex abuse. The Conservative MP for East Worthing and Shoreham, Tim Lawton, says it will help to ensure justice for victims who were abused by members of the clergy.
Well, tonight there have been separate calls for the public inquiry to look into the way all three SouthEast police forces have investigated historic child abuse allegations. Our Home Affairs correspondent Colin Campbell has this report.
It's a government inquiry into allegations that sexual abuse of children was covered up at a North Wales children's home. But former Children's Minister Tim Lawton says it must be broadened to look at all institutions where there's been abuse, including the Church of England in Sussex.
The Catholic Church has obviously been embroiled in child abuse scandals for a long time. The Church of England is certainly no stranger to it. And of course, earlier this year, we were particularly implicated in the Diocese of Chichester, with a number of priests going back many years who have all been accused or charged or imprisoned for child abuse. So I think we need to make sure we have an inquiry whose tentacles cover all the different institutions involved with children.
Child abuse is a hateful, abhorrent and disgusting crime, and we must not allow these allegations to go unanswered.
The Home Secretary said yesterday that she would consider calls for an overarching inquiry into child abuse, including sexual abuse carried out by Jimmy Savile, if the evidence was shown to justify it.
I certainly think if the BBC is undertaking these very strenuous inquiries and investigations, and they're just broadcasters, how much more important is it that the Church of England, who have a real moral stature, our established church, the Queen is the head of the established church, they need to be cleaner than clean, whiter than white. They need to set up their own inquiry.
Victims sexually abused by priests in Sussex started campaigning for a public inquiry in April. Since then, 3 retired priests and a church organist have been charged with sexual offences against children in the county. 2 bishops are facing disciplinary action for alleged safeguarding failings, including the Bishop of Lewes, Bishop Wallace Benn, who announced his retirement a fortnight ago. The Archbishop of Canterbury is also investigating child protection mistakes and has identified fresh and disturbing safeguarding failings that keep rising to the surface.
The Diocese of Chichester has had 4 inquiries into child abuse in the last 4 years. We now need a public inquiry that is completely independent from the Church, that will get to the very bottom of the consistent safeguarding failures.
The Bishop of Chichester, Dr Martin Warner, said in a statement today that he welcomes the opportunity to be part of any public inquiry into child protection, adding there are lessons that we have been learning over the past few years and we would welcome a chance to share our learning. Tim Lawton says the Church of England in Sussex has belatedly acted to put its house in order and questions if enough's been done.
That was Colin Campbell reporting. He joins us from Sussex Police Headquarters in Lewes now. And Colin, tonight a prominent Labour MP is calling for an investigation into the way that SouthEast police forces have handled past allegations of child sex abuse.
That's right, in particular individuals who've made allegations of sexual abuse against politicians and people in positions of power. The letter is from Labour MP Tom Watson to the Prime Minister David Cameron. In it he names 10 police forces, including Sussex Police, Surrey Police and Kent Police, who today came out to say they simply do not know why their name is in this letter.
Well, I wouldn't want to speculate on what the MP has put in the letter and why he's named the forces that he has named. I would hope that there is something very specific that he's referring to, and my Chief Constable has written to him to ask, well, what cases is it specifically that he's referring to, so that we can have a look at those.
Well, Sussex Police say they are equally as baffled as to why their name is on this letter. They have issued a statement today reiterating that they are involved in 3 ongoing police investigations relating to 3 priests accused of abusing children, which have resulted in prosecutions. They go on to say there is a further investigation into another member of clergy, which we know relates specifically to Bishop Peter Ball, the former Bishop of Lewes.
Thanks, Colin.